All that exists in this world is illuminated by the light of manifestation, for the light is the source of all that is manifest. This light, however, is not merely a physical phenomenon, but the very essence of consciousness itself. This consciousness is one, and yet it is expressed in countless forms, each representing a different level of awareness. It is one, undivided and inseparable, and every being is a unique expression of this infinite oneness. All things in existence are ultimately expressions of the same underlying reality. The same consciousness that animates your body is also present in every other being and every object in the universe. This consciousness is not limited to the individual human mind, but is a universal and all-encompassing force that pervades the entire cosmos. In fact, the concept of the individual mind as separate from the rest of the universe is an illusion that arises from our limited perspective and the way we have been conditioned to think. This realization has profound implications for our understanding of the world and our place in it. It means that we are not separate entities, but rather integral parts of a larger whole. Though we may have different experiences and perceptions, at our core we are all united in the same I Am. This I Am is the basis of all existence, the first cause substance, the self-definition of God. As it is written in Exodus, I Am has sent me to you. I am who I am. It is the self-definition of the Absolute, the foundation in which everything else rests. By saying I Am, we are affirming our connection to this universal reality and acknowledging our own divinity. Yet each of us is ensnared in an invisible, nearly imperceptible trap: the worldview. Your worldview is the total picture you accept of reality. At its heart lie two fundamental elements. Firstly, the sense of individual identity, encapsulated in the feeling of I, and secondly, a faith in the everyday world of tangible objects that surround us. On the surface and for practical purposes, having your own worldview may seem appealing, but it often contains less desirable elements such as bad memories, old wounds, and outdated conditioning. As harmful as these things are, there exists a subtler trap. Every worldview serves as a confined model of reality, closing off access to the true reality. Consider someone with agoraphobia, for instance, who fears open spaces and thus limits their experiences to the confines of their home. Shut away form a vast array of experiences. Similarly, your worldview may unknowingly isolate you from the most crucial aspect of true reality, the realm of pure consciousness. The I you identify with accesses only a small fraction of the vast field of consciousness. Infinite possibilities are squeezed down to the choices that your ego says yes to. Escaping the trap of the common sense world involves entering a reality as a field of consciousness, rather than one defined by physical matter. The experience of the physical world is both undeniable and absolutely necessary. However, the key lies in the term experience. Physical objects themselves don't have this capacity. They don't experience the world. It is through our mental awareness that we engage with the world. Once you accept this fundamental truth, the understanding of reality becomes clear. Consider this: matter is the manifestation of the mind. The mind, in turn, is the manifestation of awareness. Yet awareness itself lacks any perceivable form. The physical world appears in our minds as a vivid three-dimensional image, accessible through our senses. This mental construct is born within the vast expanse of awareness, which, although intangible, serves as the source of the true reality. The problem of pain and suffering is only solved by going beyond the senses, transcending everyday experience to reach the level of awareness where pain and suffering do not exist. That, of course, opens another story, a vast and never-ending one. But the horizon of higher consciousness can't be found if you begin with matter. What matters in the end is consciousness, and with that realization, freedom begins. The question arises, why can't we consistently maintain our connection with our true self, pure consciousness? The answer is simple. Constant competition from our other selves. Our identity's different facets are in perpetual struggle for dominance, making it challenging to sustain that serene state indefinitely. This dynamic explains the intermittent nature of the true self, amidst the ever-shifting landscape of personal experience. Understanding the self involves acknowledging its multifaceted nature. Whether it's the social self in professional interactions, the private self at home, or the unconscious self harboring deep fears, each plays a role in daily life's nuanced interplay. The true self stands out by operating without a predetermined agenda, unlike the other selves. While they fulfill desires and obligations within structured routines, the true self remains detached, transcending old conditioning, memories, habits, beliefs, fears, or wishes. It offers simplicity and authenticity, remaining untouched by the daily preoccupations of I, me, mine, or the narrative construction surrounding your life. Liberation emerges from detachment from the agendas of other selves, marking it as a state of liberation from the relentless pendulum swing dictated by their competing agendas. This detachment frees you from the incessant sway between pleasure and pain, duty and desire, fulfillment and frustration. The true self offers an escape from this dualistic existence, introducing an alternative way of life where the mind naturally aligns with pure consciousness. The journey involves varying degrees of experience, with glimpses of the true self evolving into deeper, more frequent, and enduring encounters. In this freedom, we learn to see beyond the surface appearances of things and recognize the underlying unity of all existence. We can transcend the limitations of the individual mind and begin to experience a sense of oneness and interconnectedness with everything around us. We can access a deeper level of awareness and understanding that is not bound by the limitations of time and space. This is the mystical experience that has been described by spiritual seekers throughout history. The feeling of I am remains ever present. It is an unchanging center that persists regardless of our external circumstances. Though we may forget who we are, where we are, or what we are, but we cannot forget that we exist. While one may identify as a rich man, a poor man, a beggar, or a thief, the center of one's being remains the same, independent of the self-image one maintains. At the core of all manifestation is the one I am, taking countless forms and concepts while remaining unchanged. Consciousness is the only reality, the first and only cause substance of the phenomenon of life. Everything that exists has its being through the consciousness that perceives it. In this sense, consciousness is the foundation by which the phenomenon of life can be explained. All that can be observed is a higher or lower form of the same substance, consciousness. This principle governs all aspects of life, whether social, financial, intellectual, or spiritual. It is one's concept of self that determines the form and scenario of their existence. What one does not affirm as true of oneself cannot be awakened in their world. By changing one's concept of self, one can create wonders, paradises, and joy, and experience the results of these concepts in their world. But this realization also comes with a great responsibility. We are the architects of our own reality, and the world around us reflects the concepts and beliefs that we hold about ourselves. If we believe ourselves to be limited, unworthy, or powerless, then we will experience a reality that reflects those beliefs. On the other hand, If we cultivate a sense of inner strength, abundance, and love, then we will manifest a reality that reflects those qualities. This is why it is so important to be mindful of our thoughts and beliefs, and to cultivate a positive and empowering self-concept. Your state of being, the way you choose to interact with others, will determine the kind of experiences you have. What you give is what you are, and what you receive is what you are. Your relationships with others are a reflection of your relationship with yourself. When you choose to manifest a certain kind of being, life responds by giving you experiences that reflect that being. You are constantly making choices, and those choices are shaping your reality. Every thought, feeling, and action is like a request to the universe, and the universe responds by giving you exactly what you asked for. Your chosen being is what the universe will give you, and it is a reflection of the inner world you have created. While you may believe you relate to others, you are truly only relating to yourself in their presence. Who you are giving to, receiving from, and experiencing in the presence of others is ultimately a reflection of who you are. In the midst of apparent contradictions, antagonisms, and contrasts of your life, there is only one principle at work: consciousness. Therefore, to realize your most valued dreams, you must change your consciousness. As you continue to expand your consciousness and realize your interconnectedness with all things, you will begin to see the world in a new light. To transcend our limitations, we must let go of our past and embrace the ever-expanding possibilities of the present. We are all capable of building more stable and noble temples for our souls, until we ultimately break free from our physical confines and merge with the limitless sea of life. As the poet Rumi said, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop."